All right, everyone. Welcome, welcome. We are live as it, yep, no, it looks like, as it says from my little YouTube thing here. What's going on, everyone? Happy Monday. Welcome to the Unconventional Mindset. My name is Odum, and we are gathered here today to work on building our company, which is going to generate us $1 million in revenue every single year. That's our goal. That's what we're working towards. And of course, like we said before, we're 10% there. And today we're going to get back into building our Webflow component library, which is our offshoot from our main business, which is a website design and development agency. And yeah, I think we're just going to get right into it because last week we were working on lots of our different components and we're just going to keep plugging away. So actually, maybe I could just go over a little bit of updates for what I have done here. Oh, I need to zoom in a little bit on this thing here. So the navigation elements. So we're going to work on the navigation elements because we're going to add a little bit of animations to them. And one thing you'll notice from last time, if you would have seen this, is I took all the items. I'm not quite done yet, but I've taken the items that were on their own individual page. Like I have this footer page, which has all these footer elements. And what I'm doing is I took them out and put them in their own specific page. So that way I'm pretty sure once we go into pixel pieces and once we have this component here, when someone's going to hit view, it's going to go on to that actual page. So we're just going to want to have the individual component on an individual page. So that's what I've done. And oh my goodness, I spent probably 10 to 15 hours on updating these navigation items over the weekend. It was insane. Hey, what's going on, Kevin? Nice to see you. Hope you had a great weekend. Yeah, so I spent a lot of time getting these things to work. And what I ended up doing is having 4 navigations at the end of the day. The first one is a basic nav using all native Webflow elements. And the second one is also, actually, I could just play it here. Well, I'll just summarize this. So yeah, so this is a basic nav with all native Webflow components. The navbar 2 is the same thing, except this has a full width dropdown so that when you actually do open up the dropdown menu, it goes full width, just like that. And the third one is everything here is completely custom with its own dropdown element. You know, this is all just kind of custom built. And navbar 4 as well is the same thing. Everything's custom except with a full width drop down. So if you want to have a nice full width drop down navigation, you can have that here. And I think the one thing I'll do for the 5th one is have one of those navigations that go completely full screen where you hit the menu button and then it just takes 100 viewport width and height and, you know, just has like your whatever navigation items. So I think I will do that as a 5th one. And I think that's going to be it. But what I had to do for all of these, oh my God, there's some really weird things happening because I was doing so much testing to make sure all these navigation items work when you have the window open, but then things are open and then you resize the window to a small viewport and then go back. There was issues with things not responding dynamically. It was just such a huge nightmare. And I actually had to add some actual custom CSS, which really killed me to have to do this. But some of them had to add some custom CSS just to make sure that things would display appropriately when you do really weird things to end up trying to break a menu. So I was spending all weekend like breaking these menus and styling them accordingly. So they should be almost bulletproof. That being said, I haven't tested in other browsers yet, but that's going to be kind of one of the next things to do. So the way that I wanted to have these dropdowns work is I didn't want to just do a show hide because when you want to do other types of effects, when you want to bring them in or like if you just want them to fade in nicely, it's a little bit different than show hide. So that's the default functionality of these navigation items. So drop down, it kind of, when you click on it, it just opens nicely and then closes. It's not just going to appear. And when you go to smaller sizes, you just hit this button and then you have a nice kind of fade in effect. Same thing with the drop down as well. And everything's nice and responsive. So what I wanted to do today is we might as well work on getting this icon to just rotate. I know I've done this before, but we'll do it again. And I learned a little trick actually for SVG icons. If you want to actually be able to update the SVG code, the colors, without actually having to go into the actual element itself or this custom code, if you just add a fill of current color to an SGV element, you can use the actual text color to update the color of the SGV element, which is really, really cool. I didn't know that. So that's nice. And same thing if you set the width and height to auto, that the width and height will update the actual SVG within the editor, which is really, really nice. Because that's kind of the key, is to be able to update everything within the editor or the style panel and not have to go into any kind of custom code whatsoever. Okay, so let's start back up with navbar 1 and let's make the on-click effect. So navbar 1. So we're gonna have to make this on click. Actually, we actually do have, let's take a look at our interaction that we have right now. The drop down opens. We can use the same interaction actually. We don't need to create a new one. So nav drop down 1 opens. Okay, so we can probably reuse this, and let's see what we can do here for the icon. So we want to target the icon. Oh, hang on a second. I got a mistake here. This is the wrong class. 1.125, 1.5. This is navbar 1. What was it called? Navbar 1 menu link icon. Let's just copy that. Height 1.5. And I think this one here I haven't selected. So let's go current color and width auto. Yeah, there's still lots of little things to clean up here. Oh shit. Oh, right. That's why. I do have current color on here. Right. So hello, hello. Nice to see you, Rolando. Hello from Nova Scotia or Canada, maybe more specifically. Or is that less specifically? How you doing today? How's your weekend? All right, so let's go into the color here. We can just make it any color. Yeah, let's do that. All right. So we can make the size as small as we want now. Being able to mess around with the SVG sizing right off the bat is really nice. Or like within the style panel. But there's an issue here. There's one thing that I know I'm not doing correctly here. And what is going on here? I think it's because I went auto, isn't it? Oop. Right. It's changing its position. Okay, we'll have to fix that. Small spacing issue. But anyways, we'll worry about that later. Okay, so number one, interaction. Oh, this interaction here. This one opens. Okay, so let's target our icon. We need to set its position. Actually, its rotation, because we're going to rotate this. And I think we're rotating on the Z axis. Or Z axis. And we're going to set that as the initial state. And then we're going to add another one. We're going to rotate 180. Want to do it clockwise or counterclockwise? Because it doesn't really matter. We'll do it this way, 180. And need to have a custom time for duration. I think I have everything set to 0.5, but I think I should set it to about maybe 0.3. And we're going to start this with the previous action, which we should also lower to 0.3. And then we'll save that. Let's just preview this. Okay, that worked. And now on close. Very simple. We'll select our element. And we're going to rotate it. You're going to go back to 0. 0.3 seconds. In and out quad. With previous action. This one here, let's go to 0.3 seconds. Save. Okay. So that should be it. I don't like the way that this icon, no, it's still centered. Just might need to change its positioning a little bit. Designify, nice name. Hello, hello, welcome to the stream. Good to see you here. So that's not bad. Yeah. Any little updates or whatever, we can kind of certainly play around with it. But that's good. So let's go to our navbar 2 component, and now we just need to wash, rinse, and repeat. Okay. Interaction here on the drop-down trigger. Actually, I need to rename this one. Nope. This is nav 2. And rename this guy. All right. Okay, so let's select our menu icon, add an action, rotate. I gotta set 0 as its initial state. And then we gotta add a rotation of 180 degrees. We're gonna start that with the previous animation, set it to 0.3 seconds, the usual drill. This is the only thing that's a little bit tedious when it's coming to building these animations within specific components. I would love to just have it all be one class of just, you know, whatever arrow, menu link icon. But if someone's going to want to change certain styles within a specific component, then having the different names is going to help them not change the styling for all the different components that either they might have or that might conflict with the other components that we actually have. So when they go and cut and paste new components into their project, right? So unfortunately, I think each component needs to have its own specific class that's dedicated to it. At the end of the day, that, you know what, that might make it a little bit more difficult to build a full-fledged project. But then again, you're not having multiple different navigations, within one project, right? So I think we'll be okay. But I think this is the type of feedback that we're going to be getting once we launch and once we get people using the components and seeing how they interact with it and saying, hey, listen, whenever I'm doing this type of project, I'm running into these issues with CSS class structures. What can you do to help out with that? So that's the thing I think that I worry about the most is when you cut and paste different things when you're having issues with the CSS styling. It's the one drawback that I think Webflow has, and there's really not much you can do about that. Especially if you want to make it super easy for people to use, right? And to be like a visual interface, so you don't actually have to write code. That's the whole point. Okay, and let's go to nav2 drop down close. Let's configure this. Select our element that we want to animate and add our rotation back down to 0.3 seconds, in and out quad, and with previous action, and save. All right, let's just have a quick look and see what we got. Drop down open, close, open, close, open, leave it open, go to mobile, open, close. Yeah, it closes automatically. If you leave this open, go here, open this. Perfect. Perfect, looking good. And let's keep going. Navbar 3. Okay, so these are the 100% custom nav bars that I built. And hang on a second, what's going on here? We got our 3 components. This needs to be centered. There we go. With our logo. Oh, I need to rename this. Yeah, there's a lot of cutting and pasting that was going on, building these things over the weekend. Oh. Navbar 3 logo. Okay. What is... Okay, color. What color do we want the logo? I think we just want it black. Super simple for now. Okay. So let's add to this interaction of drop-down menu open. Let's rename these to be consistent. Nav3 drop-down open. Okay. And rename this one. Nav3 drop-down close. Even then, I think I want to have some better naming for these interactions, but I guess it's okay for now. Okay, so we got that interaction. Menu icon. Ah, shit. I messed it up again. Copy that. 1.125.5. And height. Oh. 0.5. So I got to go into this SVG and update this one for auto and auto. Let's give it a color. Primary light. Okay. Now we can get to the interaction. Interaction. select our icon. And what do we want to do? Rotate 0 as its initial state. Right. And we do another one. Rotate 180 degrees. With previous action, 1.3 seconds for duration. Let's update this one to 0.3, or 1.3, 0.3, I should say. And then save. Let's have a look. Oh, that's for the open. I need to do the close. Forgot the close. Again, icon. Oh. And rotate back to 0 on close. And with previous and save. Excellent. Let's have a look. Open, close, open, close. Excellent. Open, close, open. The close is at a slightly different time. I don't know if you caught that. Let's just make one quick adjustment. Yeah, that's still set to 0.5, 0.3. Save. Oh, save. All right. And navbar 4. Last one here. I still have to update this SVG. Okay. Let's copy this. And this is navbar 4. I think after this, we'll maybe build our 5th menu. What do you guys think? Our 5th navbar. So then those are completely done. What happened? How come I can't see anything? Okay, something happened. Oh, I think this is covering. This might be covering things. There we go. 1.5. And our color. It's cool. We can make our drop down button like any color we want, or our icon. I love it. I love it. Okay. Interactions. Here we go. So let's just nav for drop down open. Select our icon. Interaction. Rotate. Start at 0. And on click, it's going to rotate again, 180 degrees. And that's going to go with the previous action at 0.3 seconds with our in-out quad. Easing. And just save that as well. And then the last one. Nav for drop down, close. We're going to select our nav 4 icon and hit. Oh, that was wrong. Delete that. That was scale. We don't want scale. We want rotate. Rotate back to 0. 0.3. In out quad. With previous. and 0.3 and save. Excellent. Open and close. Look at that. Beauty. All right. So those are our 4 navigation components. And actually, you know what we can do now? How about we animate the hamburger? That might be fun. Let's go where do I want to go. Let's go navbar 1. So we can animate this hamburger, which might be pretty cool. Here's where I wonder if we should have the same class for each one of these navigation hamburger things. Then that's going to make the animation a lot easier to do. Okay. Or at least we don't have to duplicate them all the time. Okay. So we have this here. Is this like as a button? What's going on here? Right, it is a button. So what kind of animation should we do? I mean, there's some ones where we can bring the two, like what's it called? The 2 bars as like an X. I kind of have, here's what, well, here's one thing we can do. Okay, let's, Sorry, I'm just thinking about having to redo this for every single different one. Okay. Let's try on mouse hover. I'd like to do a quick animation on this. So on mouse hover, select an action, start an animation, a new one. So hamburger 1, just like hover. Hover in. And then let's just, I mean, we can do something to one of these hamburgers. Oh, we don't have, okay, hang on a second. These hamburgers are all the same. Right, so we're gonna have to, call them something different, just so we can differentiate each of them, and then we can interact with them one at a time. So these are, let's go back here. Oh, shoot. Okay. So this is called navbar 1 hamburger line 1. Okay. They're all the same here. So let's go hamburger 1, or let's just make it easy for now. Just hamburger top. And our width is 100%. Oh, that didn't work. 100%. And then we have our height of, what was our height? 0.125 rem. 0.125 rem. And padding of 0 here. I don't know why that's there. There must have been some issue I was having. Okay. We're going to do the same thing here. We're going to call this one hamburger, like middle. And This is really cool. This is where we can get really creative in terms of how we want to animate our hamburger icon. Oh, there we go. See, it's putting this padding on here. Like, why is it doing that? Ugh, it's so stupid. 0.125. Anyways, let's put it here just to be sure nothing's going to override our styles at some point. Okay, and hamburger bottom 0, 0, 100%, height 0.125, relative units. Okay, so let's go back to our interaction. Oh wait, did that stick? Oh yeah, it did. Okay, let's go back up here. Interactions. Okay, hover in. Let's say, so let's say our size, well, the initial width is at 100%. And let's, as we hover over it, let's add a new animation. And size again. Let's just bring it down to 80%. And then let's also take a look at this one. We're just going to animate them and open and close them at different, like different distances, just for fun. And we'll see what happens. And this one, let's say, this one's going to go at 50%. Take a little bit longer. And that's with the previous. And the last one is our hamburger at the bottom. Again, our initial state is 100%. Initial. And then our size, maybe 90%. And then you can do this with previous. All right, let's see what that looks like. Okay, now I can't see anything. Why can't I see anything? Probably because I did not set a background color on these things. So, there. I think there's just going to be black. There we go. Okay. Let's have a look. There we go. All right. So that kind of worked, except I would like everything to be, after they shrink, I want to make sure that they stay aligned onto the right, the other right, onto the left. So let's have a look. Hover. Perfect. Yeah, so it just gives like a little bit of a, I don't know, just look kind of a little bit of a neat effect. I kind of like that. So, but now what we want to do is when you hover out of that, let's go back to our interactions. We're going to need to do the opposite now. Start an animation. Hamburger 1, hover out. Hamburger 1, hover out. Okay. So let's add animation. This is going to be pretty straightforward. We're just going to have to go back to 100% in out quad, and let's go 0. We'll make them all go at different times or different speeds. Okay, and then hamburger middle. You can also get back to 100%. You can take 0.4 milliseconds or 0.4 seconds. Start with previous and hamburger bottom 5. You go back to 100%, and you could take 0.5. That might be too long, but let's see what it looks like. And then we save. Okay, let's have a look. I like that, except for this last one going last. I think it should almost go first. So let's have a look here. 0.2. Because it's also not going very, like it's not traveling very much distance. And I think hamburger top, maybe you go down to 70%. It's throwing me off when everything finishes at a different speed. 0.3. This one here especially. All right, let's have a look. Getting better. Yeah, that's not bad. Okay, so now we need to have one last trigger, and that is when you click on it. Okay, so the first click, we're going to start an animation, and it's just going to be hamburger 1 open. Right, yeah. So we're going to, what are we going to do? We basically need to create an X, right? So we need to rotate it. It's got to turn, what, 45 degrees? Okay, you start at 0. Set that as initial. And then we need to rotate. Is it going to show? It's not going to show what it looks like. So I guess we'll just try rotating 45 degrees. I know there's going to be issues because I don't know where it's actually rotating from. I don't think it's rotating from the middle of the actual canvas. And we're going to have to probably displace it as well too. All right, and let's go here to this guy, and I know we're gonna have to rotate this one as well. Set it initially as 0, and we're gonna rotate it. This one's got to go, I guess, minus 45 degrees. I think that's counterclockwise. We'll see. If not, then it's going to be the other way. With the previous action, 0.3 seconds, in out quad. And hamburger middle here. Can we not on click? So I feel its width at 100%. And maybe let's just have it fly away. Actually, can we have the width be auto? And that's at the initial state, because it depends on, because when you click on it, it's already going to be, it might be at 50%, anywhere between 0 and 50%, because there is that animation going on. So we don't want to mess with that and have it restart at 0 or at 100, I should say. So then, but then on click, we're going to go back to size, and then we're going to have it 0. Let's just go 0%, because that's what we're working percentage. Percentage is 0.3 and in out quad with previous. All right, let's save. So we hover, now we click. Okay. So we got our rotation, but now we need to figure out how to move it to the middle. It doesn't rotate back. Okay. Does it just need to go up and down like 50%? I mean, that would be super nice if it was that easy. So hamburger 1, I mean, we need to move it, right? Where does it need to go? It needs to go down, right? Let's see if this works. And then move up 50%. That's 0.3. I don't have a good feeling about this, but okay. Didn't really do anything, did it? Yeah, something did happen because it's not quite aligned properly, but 50%. What if it was, I don't know. But one of them needs to be negative. At the bottom, it has to go negative, so it's got to go up. Save. Oh, that's probably why everything got screwed up. Okay, let's have a look. Click. Okay, so that went way up. Okay. Okay, not what we want. What happened to that one? Which one went? Yeah, it went down. So that was the top one that went down, which is what we wanted. Way too much. What if it's just percent-wise? Okay. Maybe it has to double the percentage. I'm just playing around here. Because I've never done this before, actually. So, and I'm not sure quite how to do the math. Well, that almost works. That almost works. Is it 250%? I don't know why that would be such a weird number, but so it's not quite an X. Oh, actually, now we have an issue when you hover over it. Now it looks stupid. Still needs to go down some. 300. Interesting. What's the width of this thing? Does it have a specific width? 1.5 REM. So that's the width. But if you rotate it, does it have to go like a half of that? Probably has to do with like using some kind of trigonometry to figure out like a squared plus b squared equals c squared. You can figure out the length, and then you can figure out the rotation angle. I don't know all the sines and cosine stuff. Yeah, I don't know how to figure that out specifically. So I don't know. Let's just do the old trial and error. See if we can get something that's reasonable. Unless we can go specifically for what was it? 1.5 REM. 1.5. Hang on. Let's see if I can calculate. 1.5 squared times 1.5 equals 2.25 plus 2.25, 4.5. And what's the square root of that? 2.12. That won't work. That's way too high. That's way too much. Right, if it's 2.12 REM, I think that's way, 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 way too much. Minus 2.12. That's not going to work. Yeah, that's way up there. Okay, so my Pythagoras theorem was way off. Is it just maybe half? Let's try that. Let's just try numbers. Still too much. Square one. 0.5. Well, we'll definitely get a number that'll be what we need it to be. But then we're going to have a problem when we're hovering over top of this. So how do we get it? The only thing that we need, way that I think that we're going to be able to do it so that we're not going to be able to have that we're not going to have that animation when you hover over like the X is like we're going to have to use JavaScript to either add a class to it and not target that class so that the hover effect doesn't work when you're hovering over top of something with the wrong class. Like, I don't see any other way. I out of it. 0.25 minus 0.25. Oh God, I don't know what it's going to need to be. Can I? I've got to transform here. Maybe we can just try to play around with this a little bit. 0.3, 0.35. That looks like it's getting kind of close to the center. 0.4. Let's try 0.4. Oop. 0.4. Minus 0.4. Save. Getting closer. Something, there's got to be a better way to do this. .35. Is that even? Not quite. Maybe close enough. Minus 0.25. They're not even equal. And what did we do here? 0 pixel. Why is that not? That one's being stupid too. Oh. I think it's because the hover. The hover is what screwed me over with that effect. So let's actually, just for a second, let's just delete this. So we get it, we get our little close. I mean, we could almost just animate that and just leave that as is and forget about the hover effect, at least for now. It looks like we're getting pretty close to the X here. Minus 0.32. Three. Just got to figure out what the actual animation is. I think I would prefer that it goes into an X as opposed to animate on hover, if I had to choose. Or does maybe this thing all get done in JavaScript? Which might be easier. I don't want to use that though, because like almost defeats the whole purpose of doing this, right? Is that so people can take this and just utilize Webflow almost natively without any, extensions or custom code, and just create their own really cool thing. Uh, 0%. Two. Yeah. That about works. Interesting. I feel like there's an issue with this. There's something going on here. Point 4 seems to look nice. So there's a simple X right there on close, and then on open, you just move it back, basically, right? And then start an animation. Hamburger 1. I mean, are we calling it open? And we need to, I guess it's move, right? No. Delete that. We need to actually target our items here. Action, move. I think the Y goes back down to 0, 0.3 seconds. And hamburger middle. I'm gonna add an action to that one. It's gonna go back to 100% full width. Take 0.3 seconds. And out quad. And our bottom, actually this one, start with the previous action. And our last one, our move, also going to go back down to 0.3 seconds. And start with previous action. Okay, so click, click. Oh, that's way off. I did something completely off. What did I do? What did I do wrong? Oh, it's rotate. I also need to rotate, of course. So we need to go to close. Right. Of course, you got to rotate it. And rotate. I think it's here. 0.3 seconds, and out, and hamburger bottom, rotate, back and down to 0 seconds, or 0 degrees, and out, with previous, oh, this one, yes, with previous, and save. Play. Okay, something's up. Hamburger middle went from 0 to 100%. Oh, we need to set an initial state, I think, for our move, which are top and bottom. So let's do that. Let's set that to 0. And for the bottom, let's also set that to 0, initial state, save. Okay, so now it should know where to go at the start. It still doesn't do that, eh? Oh, no, I think I just like seriously overcomplicated this. Oh, this is wrong. Delete that. That's why. Hamburger bottom. And now you need to move. You go down to 0. That's probably what happened, or what was going on. And with previous. Okay. So open and close. There we go. Open and close. Open, close. Okay. So, I mean, it's okay. And why did it duplicate the navigate? What is going on? It's because I left it. Oh, that's cool, but also a little scary. Okay, weird. Open, close. Open, close. So if I open this and then I go back to here, it's still going to say close, but yet we can't see the navigation. Right, so that's a problem. This is a problem because the native Webflow navigation item, when it's open like this when you open it here, when you open it here, and then if you change your viewport to desktop, it automatically closes the menu, and the animation we don't have closed the menu. So I think what we did, which is actually really annoying, is we needed to do this effect on the actual, the whole menu being visible. That was stupid, because if we go here, this whole nav bar being visible, or is it this one? Because if you do an interaction element trigger, It should be when navbar opens. And I think, is that going to be here? When the navbar opens. Yeah, I just did it on the wrong stupid trigger. So we should still be okay. So when the navbar opens, select an animation. We're going to go hamburger open. And when the menu closes, start an animation. Hamburger close, which is this one, which I did not name properly. And close. Save. Okay, and this one, let's totally delete that. Okay, let's just have a look. So we're still working. Good. So that's closed. Now we make it larger, and then we bring it back, and it's back to closed or open. If that makes any sense. Good. So that works. So how's that animation? It's not too bad. Open, close. Open, close. But now we have an issue with this drop-down menu. What is going on? Now the whole drop-down menu is not working. Oh, I totally... Shit. I deleted the wrong animation. Okay, good. It's still working. Let's go back here. Open. Okay, good. It's on here. This is where I need to close it. Get rid of it here. Hamburger 1 open, hamburger 1 close. Right. Let's verify again. Make sure everything's still working. Open, close. Okay. Excellent. Maybe we can do something fancier, things that look a little bit better. We'll see. Okay. So I wish I can do a hover effect only when it's open. Can I do that? Like start an animation. No, that's wrong. That's totally wrong. Delete this. It's specifically on a trigger. Yeah, navbar open. Yeah, we definitely don't want the continuous interaction either. That's too bad. No fancy animations, unfortunately. If we do, it's going to have to be a JavaScript solution. So navbar 1 hamburger. Let me just take a look at... Oh, what? Did I delete? I did. Hamburger 1 open. We can reuse this. We can reuse this, I think. And just have these different classes. Let's try hamburger top, middle, bottom. Let's go navbar 2. And let's go let's see if we can do this. Hamburger top. Hamburger middle. Hamburger bottom. And we go to the navbar. Let's do our interactions. Navbar opens. Select an action. Start an animation. Hamburger open. And on close. Animation. Hamburger close. Let's have a look. Open, close, open, close. Yep. Works perfectly. Okay, so that's good. That saves us a little bit of time. But what I want to do, let's go back here to this interaction. Let's just rename this one. Let's just hamburger open and hamburger close. That's going to be only on the two navigations that have native Webflow. That's what I'm looking for. The native Webflow components or elements. But navbar 3, this one isn't native. So we already have them on click. Let's see. We might get, I don't know, we might get lucky. Now that I'm thinking about this. Let's go to hamburger top. Hamburger middle. And next, Control Enter. Hamburger bottom. So we're going to go in here, go to the interactions. Let's see if we can have another trigger. Another one on mouse click. We're going to do, I'm just going to try. And again, if this does work, we'll just need some JavaScript to close it whenever. Actually, this one, oh, it might already work because it doesn't already do that. Let's see. Excellent. And then, so this one, when you close it, or like this, and open it, it'll come right back. Look at that. So that's perfect. So we can actually have one animation that just works for all of them. That is a beauty. That is beauty. So let's go to navbar 4. And let's rename these things. Enter hamburger top, hamburger middle, hamburger bottom. And interactions. New element trigger, mouse click. Hamburger open. Second click, animation, hamburger close. Perfect. Works every time, 50% of the time. Excellent. Love it, love it. Okay. I was thinking about something. What was it? Well, everything seems to be okay there. Okay. I think I'm happy with that. Everything's working as it should be. This is amazing. This is amazing. And nothing's too crazy. I just need to clean up this animation. I don't like it. But now that we have it working and I can dial in the numbers and figure out how to do the different calculations for making sure like the X appears like when it crosses and comes over, just to smooth it out a little bit and make sure that it is like a 100% perfect X, which I'm not quite sure how to do yet, but we'll figure that out. It'd be nice if you could take the middle point of the whatever the div element is and the middle point, well, both of them, and just align them perfectly in the middle while having them both at a specific angle, or you have them the same thing and then you can just rotate one, or you rotate them each. I guess if they're just lines, they just both go, you just rotate them both 90 degrees, or rotate one 90 degrees and then tilt it 45. Anyways, whatever. I don't know how to figure that out. I have no idea how to figure that out and how to do that, other than just doing what I did here, which was just eyeballing everything. And I think there might be an issue as well too, because the lines on these menu bars, they're 2 pixels wide, or up and down. So there might be an issue with that because there's no like half pixel in the middle. Maybe, I don't know. Don't know. Okay, what do we do now? So I said I want to do the full page navigation. So we need to do that. And I was working on transporting or transposing all the different footer ones over to have the different footer nav items. I really like this. This is looking pretty good too. This is coming together nicely. I really like it. So I think what I'll do actually is I'll leave it here for today because we're at an hour and 20 minutes or so. And I'm just going to keep grinding away, keep working away. So we can hopefully get these components built as quickly as possible so that we can move on to more exciting things. And we're actually like building the app itself, which I think would be interesting for you guys to see. And just getting ready to launch this whole thing, man. It's been so long, but there's still so much to do. But I'm just going to keep plugging away. I'm trying to free up my schedule. It's getting close to Christmas. There's not too much going on in terms of client work. Although that being said, I just got a whole bunch of stuff dumped on my desk. So, anyways, I'm going to try to finish it. And yeah, and hopefully get this thing launched. It doesn't even matter. Over Christmas holidays, I'll still be here, still be streaming throughout the whole time. So while everyone else is taking a break, which is nice, so the clients are all away on Christmas, we'll still be plugging away and moving the company forward. So anyways, without that being said, thank you so much for joining. Thank you for watching. And yeah, I guess we'll be back here tomorrow for a brand new live stream. Thanks again for all your support and tuning in. I really appreciate it. Thank you. And we'll see you tomorrow.